Hello everyone, I'm Punchy. This is Resident Evil Survivor, one of the more notorious Resident Evil spin-offs. And joining me we have...
Hi, it's Carcy.
It's Carcy. All right, we're going to get right to it. 3, 2, 1, play ball.
Gun Survivor.
Biohazard. This is the Japanese version, so title difference. But it is not important. The only reason for that is because it costs less money. And despite that, the opening monologue is in English. My only hope is this gun. Your only hope is this gun. Bear this in mind. Very important. Okay, so Resident Evil Survivor is a first-person game where we move, we steer the character with the D-pad. It's kind of tank controls from the first person, so it's a bit strange. You open doors by ramming your face into them. There is no interact key or anything of the sort. I'm going to investigate this guy. Unfortunately, this is one of, 2 cutscenes in the game that are not skippable. Most of them are. This one isn't. Check out our dude's hands. They are massive.
But I just can't remember.
I think the common denominator in skippable cutscenes is just, is it a cutscene where an enemy shows up? And
True.
If an enemy shows up, then the cutscene is not skippable.
What?
Shoot this guy real quick. In order to shoot quickly, there is a rhythm. It's not quite just mashing. If you mash too fast, you drop inputs. You gotta get, the rhythm down. We pick up a key. There's actually a route divergence there. That key opens multiple doors, but it can only open one door and then it disappears. Okay, so now are we deploying the power of object permanence? This is Ark Thompson's main superpower as a Resident Evil main character. If he cannot see an enemy, they cannot hurt him. So simply do not acknowledge it. I do not see it. That is how it shall work. We turn a bit here. I do not see it. I do not see them. Nope, they cannot hurt me. They do not grab me. If you get within proximity of a zombie... Oh, there was a guy on my left there, but I did not see it. Therefore, it does not matter. But zombies will grab you and turn you to face them so that they can hurt you. The grab itself doesn't actually do any damage. So as long as you keep repeatedly turning away from zombies, they can't hit you. And you can carry on your merry way. Oh, good. Guy on my left. Oh, ooh. There we go. Didn't actually take any damage, but got kind of stuck on that guy. That is okay. Yeah, that's the main principle of the run. Is do not acknowledge them. They are simply seeking your attention. There's the dog enemy. Fortunately, they have a really long attack wind-up. As long as you keep moving, they basically don't hit you. The Kadoob will fly straight over my head.
Yeah, lickers have to be lined up with you pretty precisely in order for them to hit you with the flying jump slash.
Yeah, by and large, you can just run under them while they're jumping. And you'll be fine. This is also a route divergence. Which door you go into here affects your path through the game. And you get different cutscenes and a couple of different story beats change. We cut through the arcade. Mainly because it's just the path that's physically closest, but it pans out that this is also just generally the fastest way to go.
Remember your mission. We're doing a clean sweep of the area. Everyone and everything must be cleansed.
I do like how the bouncing makes it look like you're just kind of merrily skipping along. Just kind of frolicking, just not acknowledging the zombies at all.
I love the visual of that.
La la la.
Ark Thompson's Sunday jog.
Also in the Japanese subtitles, they're talking about... It's a lot more gruesome, let's just say. Then, everyone and everything must be cleansed.
So there's an enemy there on the right. They're like monkey soldiers. They roll along the ground. They'll show up again more prominently later, but the way I curved around them, you didn't even really get a glimpse at them. I'm gonna hit One there, that turns me around. The way, this game doesn't have a quick turn, but it has a button that like snaps you to the nearest object of interest. What the game classifies as an interesting object is itself interesting. Dino Crisis poster. So sometimes it's helpful and it can lock you onto key items and doors. Sometimes you'll press the interesting object button and snap to an enemy like halfway across the known universe. Its criteria are mysterious, and really, I've just sort of memorized when it's good to press it for movement and when to just not try. Because enemies count as interesting objects. Oh, here's the monkey guy. They're pushing me around the room, which they can do. I'm being shot a bit. But I don't take damage from every bullet, because again, if I don't see the bullet, it doesn't hit me. Gunfire obeys the same rule of if I cannot see it, it cannot hurt me.
So the Japanese version is also, it's also possible to use the GunCon 1, the original PS1 GunCon with it, but the controls are absolutely miserable.
Yeah, it's not faster to actually play the game with the light gun. That functionality was removed from the North American release to use the light gun.
Yeah.
And this game didn't release in Europe at all, to my recollection.
The controls for the light gun are something like you aim the gun downward from the screen, or just like away from the screen, and you pull the trigger once to move forward, and you double tap the trigger to run. And I don't even remember how to backpedal, but it's and then you have to use the two buttons on either side of the gun to turn left or right, and I think you press both of them in order to enter the inventory. You know, it would have been so much easier if they just made it so that you would move with the D-pad instead, but...
Yeah, I was going to say, those controllers have a D-pad on them, don't they?
The GunCon 2 does. So they rectify this problem with Gun Survivor 2 Code Veronica and with Resident Evil Dead Aim, but...
That's a whole other game.
Yeah.
I also have the record in Gun Survivor 2 as well, even though that game is also pretty atrocious, but somehow I really like it. I don't know why. It's a favorite of mine. That game had the fascinating tech discovered recently that if you change the blood color to green, the game loads faster.
Really?
Yeah, no, because the entire game has a duplicate of itself on the disc for red and green blood. Like, it loads a completely different map file, and the green blood file is smaller.
Oh, yeah, I guess so. The blood, that's like, if there's blood on the walls, it would be green. So
yep.
Oh, that makes
very, very normal way to implement a blood color selection. Make the entire game twice. Hello, zombie.
It could be like Pokemon red blood version and Pokemon green blood version.
Because the game is so small, they had room to just fit 2 copies of the game on the disc. But that doesn't apply to this game, where there is no blood color selection. That was pretty good, actually. Those 2 guys can block you real hard there, but I managed to push through. Now this room, do I get the random lag spike or not? There may or may not be zombies in this room, and if there are not, my lag, my frames are 0. There's a random chance there's just nothing in there, and you just run through.
Is it nothing? I thought that there were just zombies on the ground.
Well, they're just like off screen, but
yeah,
either
off
way,
screen,
you can
they just
fast.
like slowly get up. Yeah.
Now, this room has an actually, like, impactful random chance of changing the enemies. Every room, well, most rooms have a chance of randomly spawning, like, a different enemy layout. This is either dogs, which is the good RNG, which is what I got, or it's hunters. Hunters are awful. They understand the rule of if I do not see it, it cannot hurt you, and they will attempt to jump in front of you constantly. This is very bad because it means, A, they will stab you in the face and you take a lot of damage, but also it means they physically get in your way constantly. Dogs are much easier to deal with. Hi, Mr. X. Debated. Goodbye. And that's Mr. X. We'll be seeing more of him later, don't you worry. There were enemies there shooting at me, but once again, I simply chose not to acknowledge them. This is a safety, but I'm going to take it anyway. We don't actually have the grenade launcher yet, but that is a problem that will resolve itself in time. Now, those were flame grenade rounds. You need those for the final boss.
The game's hit detection is pretty wonky. Is there hit detection? Yes, but
Kind of.
strictly yes.
It could be said to detect hits, but only from a certain direction. What do we get here? Oh, lickers again. Nice. This too is random, whether it's lickers or hunters, and again, lickers good, because you can just run through like that. Hunters bad. We will see hunters eventually. There are many rooms that forcibly contain them, and then you will get to see how very difficult they can be to deal with. This room I'm about to enter is very likely to have hunters in it, but I'm going to press my face against a wall so that they can't jump in front of me because there is a wall there instead. That is the kind of countermeasures one takes when dealing with this enemy type. Yep, I can hear them. Nope, I'm in the wall. I'm not looking at you.
No.
They're over there to the right. No, I'm pushing against them. Okay, I'm in. They were pushing me away from the door, but I'm pushing back with force. But using the wall prevents them from getting in front of you, so that I can get through the door instead. And anyway, Ark is now going to yell at a child.
Hello? Can you hear me? Who are you? What are you doing? Answer me!
Thanks, Ark. Sees a child on a security monitor, immediately starts yelling at him. What are you doing? Answer me! Hey, thanks, man. Normal thing to do. Okay, is it going to try and re-roll the room? I'm listening for the disk drive. If it spins, it's going to re-roll the enemies. Yep. No. Loaded too quickly. Nope. Nope. The wall. I'm being pushed in the opposite direction. I'm on the other side of the room now. Nope, they're in front of me. Nope.
That's hunters.
No! They pushed me away from the door again! I do not see them. I turn around. I just did a full 360 walking backwards to get them away from me. Okay, we got through without taking that much damage. That's all well and good. Oh, lickers in this room are good RNG. It can also be zombies. Zombies are more inconvenient. You think zombies would be the less threatening enemy type, but in this game, lickers are much easier to evade and generally fewer in number in room layouts where they spawn.
It entirely depends on the room. I mean, there are rooms where the lickers have a significantly wider hitbox than the path that you are running through, but that's only like maybe one or two rooms. Off the top of my head, I can only think of that one room in the lab.
Listen to your mother. I want you to leave Umbrella. I want you to stop performing those terrible crimes and just come back home.
Thank you, Vincent's mother. He wants us to stop. Come back home! Resident Evil has a reputation for interesting voice acting, and this game might be the most interesting of them all, to say the least. Right, we actually have to win this fight to progress. So once again, press with rhythm, but when you get to one bullet remaining, pop the menu open, and reload manually. If your gun is fully empty, you are not allowed to do that. You gotta get it down to exactly one bullet remaining and then pop the reload from the menu, otherwise that guy is gonna walk forward and punch you in the face while you're attempting to auto-reload. And you do not want that. Unfortunately, even though we only have one bullet left in the gun after the end of that fight, which is normal, that's the prescribed amount, door transitions in this game automatically reload your weapon. So we are back to full. Also, the handgun has infinite ammo. I don't think I mentioned that. Other weapons have limited ammo. The basic pistol is infinite.
You know, I can't actually hear the game audio right now, and I'm actually quite grateful for that, because that alarm system...
Very loud.
Do you have time for a quick donation?
Yeah, hit it.
All right, we have $10 from Kona Rican, who says, not only is the character out for a leisurely stroll, he stops to say sorry when he bumps into the zombies. Just a very feel-good game, really.
Very polite protagonist.
No bad vibes. It's just like, no, I'm not getting your energy, your bad energy. I refuse
His
to
head is
acknowledge.
too empty to have bad vibes.
He's just the stock footage of the guy getting hit in the gut with a cannonball going through his mind in a little thought bubble as he's frolicking.
very specific line to get around those hunters.
I managed that well. You gotta, the weird zigzagging is done specifically to manage where the hunter is. That spider is interesting. If you've seen the AVGN episode on that game, he specifically notes that the spiders sometimes get stuck and don't move. That's real. That's a real thing. Sometimes they're just kind of stuck in the wall and vibrate violently instead of attacking you.
You know, that's another thing about those two spiders is if you run against the wall and you like have neither of them in your vision, you know, because yeah, if you can't see them, they can't damage you. They will try to push you around though, and both of them will push. They'll constantly push into each other, and it's like both of them have weight, you know, so you can't really like push against one or the other. But if both of them are pushing against you, then their forward momentum just like cancels each other out, and you're just able to like keep shimmying across the wall until you hit the ladder.
Okay, what do we get here? Oh, that guy tripped. No, he's blocking. Okay. Sometimes you can get through that without getting grabbed, sometimes you can't. I think it's random. I can't prove it, but I think it's random. Back up here because the game points you in the wrong direction. Hunter bursts out that. Take a careful line. If you try and head straight for the door there's a good chance the hunter's going to like body block you from jumping directly in front of you, even though it's indoors. So it jumps through the ceiling to accomplish that. Out the cable car, Cabersin, never you mind him. Lickers are impressively non-threatening in this game for the most part.
They're also really, really difficult to shoot.
This is also true. They have a hard time hitting you, and I guess that's the balance, is that you have a hard time hitting them. And now it's time for Guess That Frame Rate. Woohoo! This room plays at like a third speed. Get me to the cable car. Nice. Okay. Didn't get body blocked by the hunter. But this next room is a problem room, as it will inevitably have many hunters. The initial distance that this first hunter spawns from you is kind of random, so how hard I have to backpedal to not get stabbed in the face immediately is unpredictable, and therefore surprisingly difficult. That was quite far. No stab in the face for me. Except for then. Zigzag? Let me in. Yes, okay, good. That room can get away from you really fast because there's multiple hunters in there, and if they all start jumping around, jumping in front of you, you can get boxed in a corner and stabbed to death very rapidly. But that looked pretty good, so I'm happy about that. Hi, Mr. X. You baited. Goodbye. It's the same story with this guy.
Catch is you have to wait a little bit for Mr. X to come to you, because if you try to dodge him on the catwalk there, then he'll body block you.
Not enough room to move through. Gotta wait a little bit. Okay, this is a big room, big outdoor area with many of those rolling monkey soldier type enemies we haven't really gotten a good look at so far, but this is where their property of rolling around a bunch can be used to our advantage if we are lucky. See, there they are. They're shooting at me, but I do not acknowledge it. They'll try to catch up with me by rolling into me, and this can give me a big boost. Oh, do we have boost? Do I have boost power? They're trying. I can hear them. Oh. I'm being pushed. Ever so slightly. Come on, push me. Nah, they're not doing it. Oh, here we go. Yes, I'm acquiring boost power. It's trying to roll in front of me, but is like stuck on my flank, so it's just pushing me forward at a much greater speed than before. That wasn't the biggest boost ever, though. If you're very lucky with it, you can get two guys caught trying to catch up to you, and they will push you a massive distance very quickly.
Is it at some point they despawn, or
something like that? Because it's trying to spawn the guys forward who try and shoot you, and the game can't tolerate having too many enemies on the screen at once. It can barely tolerate having like two. As you can see, that room ran at a frame rate that can be measured in probably with a single-digit number. What spawns in this room? Spiders. That's workable. That can have dogs, lickers, and I think also hunters. In this room, always has hunters, so I'm going to immediately backstep, walk backwards, that guy jumps, and then I run forward and get stabbed in the face. Not quite far enough to the right. That's okay. Ooh, okay. One last effort to try and block me from getting into the door there. Yeah, you can see when there's rooms with hunters in it, I'm sort of running slightly off axis from my objective so that when the hunter jumps in front of me, they're not quite where I want to be, but off to the side instead.
I mean, as long as they don't jump in a spot where you have zero room to maneuver, everything's pretty hunky-dory.
Mm-hmm. Now, this room has a chance of having multiple Mr. X's in it, but it doesn't. I think I got zombies in the room instead. Yep, there they are. Hello. Pardon me. So this room can have zombies where I need to press the switch, which is a little inconvenient, but it can also have 2 Mr. X's in it instead. On balance, I think the zombie pattern is probably easier to deal with, so I guess that's okay.
I think,
but I'm not totally sure. I've never timed it.
I think that zombies is faster. Because like on top of where they are in the room, it's like you don't have to keep backpedaling in order to dodge the twin tyrants. But also after you hit the button, I'm pretty sure you can hit the interesting object button and get a quick turn off of it.
Oh yeah. Oh, Liquor spawn. Forgot about that guy. Liquor drops in from the ceiling there.
Hopefully, anyway.
Rather, well,
I think
it pretends to drop in from the ceiling. It's more that it just spawns in front of you. Give me the acid rounds. That once again is a tool that will help us later. This game doesn't have a very wide proliferation of boss fights. There is like a crocodile boss fight on a different path, but that slow. Wait patiently. Liquor walks past us. Have a nice day.
It's like, Steve, Fred, bye. Do we have room for a couple of donations? Some people wanted to give you some love here. We have $10 from Petty, who says, best of luck to Punchy on ignoring his problems until he's victorious. And we have $5 from Box F, who says, good morning, Punchy and Carcy. Very glad I woke up for RE Survivor, I suppose.
Don't worry, I woke up early too. I'm not usually awake at this hour.
And remember, we're getting closer and closer to the... I am really bad at saying this. Find the animal chin ramp, not find the animal chip rip, or whatever it is I keep almost saying. In Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 2, we have $775 out of 1,000. Please, please, it's the next run. Let's get that fulfilled. Anyway, Punchy, continue.
Thank you very much. And yep, let's keep those rolling in, guys. What's up with this room? Okay. This room contains synchronized zombie dancing. So we're going to turn on this... What are we doing here? Generator, I think. Yeah, okay. And here are these two guys. Look at them go. They're synchronized. Wobbling to the beat. They got that beat in their head. They know what's good. Left side, right side, curve around both of them. There's a third guy in there. Don't worry about him.
Oh, we just now got over 9,000. Hey, is there any sort of famous internet thing that features the phrase over 9,000? I've never heard one, but if there is, now's the time to say it. But over 9,000, thank you so much, everybody, for all your donations.
It's over 9,000!
That was pretty good. I didn't want to do it. I can't yell like that.
I like it. Thank you.
And here we have Ivy enemies. There were a couple in the previous room, but I didn't really look at them. These guys do not have the capability of poison, but some of the later Ivies do. I'm going to make a best effort to avoid that because poison is deeply inconvenient in this game, even more so than it usually is. Because there are very, very few things that can even deal with it. Like normally you use a blue herb to relieve poison. And blue herbs are very, very, very thin on the ground in this game. But the number of enemies that can cause it is also like 3. So I guess it's a match. Yeah, there they are. There's red Ivies. These ones can poison you. Don't get got, stupid. Yep, there's a blue herb directly after, but it's like 1 of 2 in the whole game or something.
Also, the music glitches out if you play this on a PS2 model that has software emulation of PS1 games. So the SCPH 77K and the SCPH 90K actually have issues properly reproducing the music for this area. So that's why you're going to hear like all the beep, 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 beep.
They are creating these monsters on
I didn't know that. I didn't know that was the reason it sounds like that. All right, Mr. X Part 2. Second verse relatively similar. Mash with rhythm, but there's a random chance he does his charge attack and dashes forward and punches me in the face. If he does, then c'est la vie, but it's not that big a deal. No, he's just gonna keep walking. Nope. Okay. Now, what Mr. X drops is random. Shotgun rounds. Lame. You want grenade rounds off this guy, like any kind of grenade round will do, fundamentally, but shotgun rounds are no bueno, because I don't actually have the shotgun. Now I will equip the grenade launcher. It comes with 6 regular shots, and I also have my 24 flame rounds and 12 acid rounds, the vast majority of which is going to be used for the final boss. And here we see Lot trying to fight off a hunter with a baseball bat, making him the strongest Resident Evil character. Technically, he won that fight. Like, he's the one standing, sort of.
I'm actually pretty impressed that he was able to grab onto that guardrail with a rainbow bat in his hand.
I don't know why the bat's like that. It's like got weird chromatic thing going on there. Nice one shot. That's random. That can take anywhere from 1 to 3 shots. I was so puzzled by that I actually went out of my way to read a strategy guide to figure out what's going on here. Just random. They have random health spawns. Of course they do. Thank you very much.
What are you talking about? It's not your fault.
You read a strategy guide? Was it
Everything.
one of those Interbrain guides by chance?
I don't remember what specifically it was. It was Japanese.
What do you mean? You're the detective.
There's like,
Your name
there's very often a thing where there's multiple strategy guides for a given game. There's like complete guide, the perfect guide, blah blah blah. I don't know. I forget which one I read.
I mean, usually the Japanese strategy guides are significantly more comprehensive than any of their American counterparts, with the notable exception being versus
I've been
books.
transferred to this facility to inspect it.
Although the
I know
North
you're
American
Wanda
Game
Vincent.
Fan guide for Resident Evil 2 actually had the Japanese values in it, funny enough.
What? A spy.
A spy.
Thank you. You are a good boy, Lot.
You are a good boy, Lot.
Acting
the child's head. It turns out Ark Thompson isn't actually... Well, Vincent, he's not Vincent. He's someone else. The whole thing about the story is that our guy has forgotten who he is, and he thinks he's a bad guy named Vincent, but it turns out he's not a bad guy. He's just a head empty guy called Ark instead. That's where that twist like comes all the way back around. You know, for those of you who have really been engaging with the lore thus far.
That's right. At the request of my friend, Leon S. Kennedy, I came
His
here to
friend,
investigate-
Leon S. Kennedy.
Nah. I think Leon just really wanted Ark to send Ark to his death.
His friend, Leon S. Very normal to refer to your friends by their full name and middle initial. Bonk.
Anything for my friend Leon S. Kennedy. I'll even willingly throw myself into danger.
A thrilling chase to a helicopter escape. This guy's gonna hit the stanky leg on the way over. Very good run. Wee.
Definitely in my top 10 running animations.
I'm Ark.
He's Ark. He did it. He remembered. Good for him. But now we have to leave before everything explodes, because it's a Resident Evil game. And it would not be a Resident Evil game without a self-destruct countdown, even though this game is missing the countdown. I'm gonna press the button. Excellent. I pressed the look at interesting object button there in the hopes it would turn me around faster, which it may not do depending on the random layout of the zombies in the room. It might turn you in the wrong direction. Keep clean.
Been an incredibly solid run so far, though. I mean, aside from hunters, the only thing
not
that
bad.
You haven't your health is still in fine.
Typically, the final boss is what finally gets that down to like caution. But so far, so good. Before we initiate the next cutscene and thus the next boss fight, equip flame rounds. We will only need one of these to kill the next boss, should everything go correctly.
That was actually going to be my next question, is when are you planning on equipping that?
Exactly now. Exactly now. I do it just before. You can do it at any time. It doesn't really matter. Ooh, surprise. Remember this guy? Probably not.
You're human.
I mean, he's
Must be the leader
only
of
some
the
guy
unit sent by
who
our
was
board to
talking about
stop
murdering
the
women and children a second ago.
Whatever.
Time for your pathetic games. I have already set the self-destruction system. This island will be gone in a matter of minutes. Adios, Ark.
Dead. I love that guy. This can't be.
So
Anyway, we gotta deal with this guy. I'm gonna do it by hurting his little feetsies. Ouch, 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 oof, ouch, ouch. And then he is dead. Goodbye. If you fire a flame round, not at him, but at the floor, he repeatedly walks into the fire over and over again and then dies. Also, I was trying to turn around while doing it, but you may have seen it was like jittering back and forth. That's because in order to deal with the fact that if you're not looking at an enemy, it can't hurt you, the game will force Ark to look at Hypnos. Forces it. Must. You cannot turn around until he is probably all the way dead.
I think it's because you're actively doing damage. Maybe it's like if you're
Or maybe it is actually.
yeah. If you're
with the
getting
fire.
if you're getting like forced by a grab or getting hit, or if an enemy is actively receiving damage, then it just like turns you towards that enemy. Maybe.
That might be it actually, because this is like the only time you deploy the interaction of like hurting an enemy's feet via fire. Whoa! I got pushed all the way across. Nice. Love
Yeah, and
that for me.
Yeah, and it's like you're still actively moving. You don't have your reticule up.
Get on the train.
Shoutouts to Kissed Ice Kids. The ending credits actually have some pretty incredible dev names.
This was still in the time where a lot of game credits credited people under like pseudonyms.
Something about like making it so that other game companies can't like poach their programmers, right?
Yeah. I'm surprised I didn't get hit in that room. That guy was trying real hard to block me. Alright, and we're coming up on the final boss. Don't be fooled by the relaxing piano music. Yeah, this is a short one. Like, this is a speed run, you know, obviously I'm going real fast. But even on like a casual playthrough, this game can be completed in like under 2 hours pretty simply. It's a short game. It's a short one.
Somebody in chat is asking how is this canon, and it is.
It is.
It is canon simply
It
by
is.
the reason that it does not conflict with anything else in the series timeline. And
Resident
also,
Evil 0 references it directly.
yeah, that's what I was. Yeah, Resident Evil 0 does reference it directly.
Canon. This guy is, whether you like him or not, he is canon to the Resident Evil universe. Please put some respect on the name Ark Thompson.
Everyone remembers the frolicking man who saved the BK Kids Club from Tyrant. From
Alright,
the
final
laziest
boss time.
tyrant.
Where'd he go?
Can I
There you are.
can I be Kid Vid?
Yes, you can have. Garza, you're always Kid Vid in my heart.
Awesome.
One more.
Yeah, so fight. Just backpedal as much as possible because the hitbox only juts out very slightly in front. Rely hopefully on the aggravated damage from the flame rounds, and Hypnos 2 falls reasonably. I mean, sometimes the hit detection works, sometimes it doesn't. You just have to kind of get lucky.
Yep, that went pretty well. This is my favorite sound effect in the game. Might be weird to have one.
I mean, to be fair, this game does have pretty good sound effects.
Wet. Wet and disgusting. That is the highlight of the game in my mind. That specific noise. Good. Now this is the true final boss, and he's above my head. You want to hit him, shockingly, in yonder giant heart. Nice, I got a counter off that. Don't know how that didn't hit me. I suppose I won't complain. By and large, we abandon self-preservation at this point and just shoot the mans. I'm out of flame rounds. That's not the right ammo. I want the acid rounds. There we go. I can read this language, I promise. Come here.
Well, I mean, you read Grenadal, it's just not Grenadal Rancha.
There we go. Okay, that's time. I beat the guy. I forgot to call out that it would have been time soon. Whoops. Killed the guy. That's the run. I do the speed run. That's Resident Evil Survivor. That was pretty good as far as final boss fights go, in that I didn't run out of grenade ammo before killing him. Whether or not he dies like fast, there's a lot of randomness to that. How much damage you do seems inconsistent. Part of the reason that... So I have the world record in this game, not to brag, right? Blah, blah, blah. But the record in this game has been standing for 4 years now. And a large part of that is that I got really, really lucky on the final boss on that attempt, and I've not been able to get anywhere near close to what happened. Guy just died real fast, and then you win. That's video games. That's speedrunning.
And what an incredible
Everything
speed game it
explodes.
is.
Yeah, we don't quite know this run is timed using the in-game time on the final results screen, so we get to see the magnificent ending before we wrap up.
We're safe.
They're safe. But are they safe?
It can't be.
They are not safe.
Get down.
Shoot him with a missile and shoot that missile with another missile. Classic stuff. Alright, that's Resident Evil Survivor. Been told get a move on. Playing Flying Sideway, the run's basically over anyway. I've been Punchy. If you enjoyed the run, check me out at twitch.tv/Punchy. That's where you find me. If you're interested in this game, I think the Resident Evil Discord has a channel for it. It's a relatively minor spin-off, but you'll find the strats there. We can fly as long as we have fuel. And you, Carcy?
I'm good. I'm just happy
He's
to be.
good.
I'm just happy to be along for the ride. You know.
You can find him at CarcinogenSDA, okay?
Appreciate it.
And that's been Survivor. What's my IGT? There it is, 3807. Okay. That's pretty fat. Hit average 98%, never miss a shot. All right, that'll be it from us. Thank you very much.